What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to channel Musu Gaming, and today I want to talk to you about the future Ragnar Prime. And as a matter of fact, future of all skill damage dealing infantry commander as well as cavalry commander to be exact. And how that might actually be different from what you might be thinking, right? And the reason why I'm saying this is, for one, lately, the release of pincer formation as well as how strong it has been for infantry has gotten a lot of people to think that, hey, for infantry, it might actually not be a terrible idea for you to just skip all the skill damage dealing commanders and just focus on smite damage dealing commanders and just use pincer on them, right? And that's how powerful pincer has been for the past couple months, right? The release of pincer has been really impacting the meta and having a lot of like second thoughts brought up to the demise of infantry mains as well as cavalry mains because of how powerful pincer is. Like, we're like, hey, like, should we even invest in all the skill damage dealing cavalry commanders and whatnot? But I think in the past, and I can't recall exactly where they have actually expressed this, developers of Rise of Kingdoms, if I remember this correctly, and I could be wrong, so please feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, but the developers of Rise of Kingdoms has specified their plan to release another set of skill damage dealing formation, combo damage dealing formation, and smite damage dealing formation within the year of 2025 and then perhaps into 2026, right? So with all that said, if and only if the latest and basically the next skill damage dealing formation is so much powerful, so much more powerful than Wedge, that it actually puts skill damage commanders more viable, then actually your investment in Ragnar Prime, Scipio Prime, and Guan Yu and all the other commanders are basically back in the game, right? And the reason why I'm bringing this up now is because, as you might have seen from my other video, I think the new Archer commander's right around the corner, right? And with that said, if the new Archer commander is not healing and true damage dealing commander, but rather is a skill damage dealing commander, there is a good chance that the new Wedge and skill damage amplifying formation might also be right around the corner, right? This is all true because of how Pincer was actually released right before Bai Chi's release, right? And how release of Pincer made the relevance of Bai Chi much stronger than we have originally speculated from the Bai Chi's kit, right? Bai Chi is a strong commander in terms of his skill set, but then again, a lot of his skill set was kind of like, oh, okay, like these are conditional, and then his expertise is also conditional, right? So with so much conditions, we weren't sure if Bai Chi was going to do well, but boom, they just released Pincer into the most overpowered formation that has been ever released in Rise of Kingdoms. And then that all of a sudden made Liu Che Bai Chi and the combo Bai Chi Liu Che like the unbeatable one march that you can actually run amongst infantry commander selections, right? So with that said, if the next Wedge formation, if the next Wedge 2.0 turns out to be, okay, either one, very strong, much more powerful, it gives you like 50% skill damage overall, like if you get all pieces of legendary special inscriptions on the new Wedge formation, and it gives you 50% skill damage buff, it might be powerful enough for it to bring back all those skill damage dealing commanders that was released over the last like several years of Rise of Kingdoms life, right? Because although we have a lot of new smite damage and combo damage commanders, as well as the healing damage, the true damage commanders that came into the game, we still have majority of the commanders in Rise of Kingdoms as skill damage commanders, right? So if the new Wedge becomes so powerful that we revive all those skill damage of the commanders, on top of that, it also like, or it could actually be a counter to specific troop type. For example, it might actually counter smite damage with special inscription, whereas you take like what 10% less smite damage or something like that on the inscription, then all of a sudden like it might actually be more viable for you to use those on the field against Bai Chi Lu Chen stuff, right? So I don't know. I think for those of you who have invested in Ragnar Prime and are quite disappointed by the recent changes in Rise of Kingdoms and the direction in which that it looks like it's taking for infantry, where a lot of people are like, hey, like we need to get Bai Chi Lu Che, we need to get William Wallace, we need to get like CJ. I would say wait until the next like full commander release timing where archers and potentially skill damage dealing archer is released, and with potential Wedge 2.0 releasing along with it, because I think there is a real possibility where that actually might be the case, right? But yeah, so that's my speculation. Obviously, I don't know what the future holds for all the other skill damage commanders, to be honest with you. But, you know, I just wanted to give you my 2 cents on it because, again, the new Archer commander is just right around the corner. And without having the new and the Wedge for 2.0 formation accompanying with it, it would take a lot from that single archer commander, especially on the field. Like it would take a lot for that commander to just carry out, right? Like it would require that commander to do like 3,500 skill damage for it to be even like comparable with smite damage dealing pincer commanders, right? So yeah, so that's just my speculation, and I think that is probably like if we are bringing in Wedge 2.0 that is on the same power level as let's say pincer formation, or even less, even like slightly weaker is fine. But like if we're having some sort of those releases coming to the game, then I think it is a healthier direction that the game could go, especially with all those skill damage commanders that are kind of like right now are like, hey, like, what do you do with Joan Prime? What do you do with Whoa? Like, are they gonna be viable in the next 2 years? I don't know, but like, if the new Wedge 2.0 makes them more relevant on the field, more make Eleanor come back to a stronger garrison and all that. I don't know. I think that could be one possible future that is ahead of us that we just don't talk about it because we're all so blinded by how powerful Pincer has been for the last couple months. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, this is just my speculation. There is a chance, in my opinion, for Ragnar Prime, Scipio Prime, to all come back to the game. And it just really depends on how powerful the next Wedge 2.0 is going to be. And if you actually enjoyed this video, please go ahead and drop a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And if you haven't already done so, feel free to join the Discord and join me on the discussion on where the game is headed towards at the end of the day. And yeah, that's pretty much it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please go ahead and drop a thumbs up. And as always, I'll see y'all on the next video. Thank you. Bye bye. Peace.